Oh, I'm getting started. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Today, I guess I'm streaming. It's Christmas. That's all I have to say. I thought I'd do a little Christmas type thing. Put it on everybody's local favorite Christmas demon, Krampus. Woohoo! I'm gonna start in just a sec. I am looking forward to it. I am just sort of kind of scanning through. I'm gonna do my own version. We're gonna do something totally different than what's typically out there. Everything is kind of that like a goat horned demon man. So kind of like a almost devil-like portrayal. But I want to do something a little bit different. I think that will reveal itself. Just give me a second, and we will start momentarily, at least in like 30 seconds or so. Thanks for hanging in there. Yeah, I know my music is kind of loud, but I just realized that. Oops. I'm trying to get out of it. This is going to be another one of those streams where I just kind of draw, and I don't really talk too much unless somebody jumps in the chat, or I feel for some reason I need to explain myself. Alright, let's just get started. Okay, so the problem with Pinterest is apparently Pinterest is such a image heavy, like loads a million things at once kind of application that just slows down my camera a whole bunch. So I need to take all my reference images that I'm looking at on Pinterest and open them elsewhere, because Pinterest just, like, my computer is for some reason unable to handle Pinterest specifically. So I am just trying to get those specific tabs just kind of cleaned up a bit. But I have some pretty cool reference in here that I just want to get started up. Damn, it is really slowing down. Like, I can't even browse Pinterest. I restarted my computer too. This is part of the reason I always start kind of late. Alright. Yeah, you tab out Pinterest and you are hurting your PC apparently, which is a shame. This is a good website for finding inspiration. Also, Google? Gosh, Google, what's up? Little Chrome. Alright, I'm gonna start sketching some stuff. Hopefully the stream kind of slows up. Just closing out these Pinterest tabs, and the tabs themselves are taking a while to close. But every time one closes, I can see my frames jump back up. So I'm literally clicking close button. Come on, get out of here, bud. Get out of here. That's another one down. Almost there. You can see the frame rate's kind of returning. I don't really care about that reference. Get out of there. And one more and we're all set. I think I do want to keep this. Actually, I don't really need to. Alright, are we better? It's a little better. I'm like waving my hand around to see if it gets better. Goodness gracious. Why do you have to be so stupid, computer? Alright, I'm just gonna close all of them. I thought this would be a good place to start, but I got somewhat of a photographic intake on that, so hopefully. No, still slow. I have another idea. I'm just gonna shut down all of Google Chrome. See where we go. This is way better. Alright, well, that fixed it. Background application shouldn't slow down my computer that much. That is a bit silly. Alright, well, completely referenceless, let's do this. So the key elements of a krampus are going to be typically horns. I try to stabilize my camera a little bit. I don't think it's working. Typically horns. I also horns, elongated face, a little bit of hidden form as far as like how the body looks. There's a little bit of that going on. There's always a bag. It's usually a big basket on the back, but I'm going to change it into a sort of different thing, and you'll kind of see the direction I'm going in as I go on. Krampus is always kind of creeping. The elongated fingers. Everybody loves a good elongated finger. Krampus is usually holding onto a staff or something, so bony knuckles on a staff. There's a way to draw hands that a friend of mine taught me years and years and years ago, and I kind of ignored it, so I was like, nah, that's lazy, and then I started to do it, and I was like, nah, that's easy, and it looks good, so sometimes art techniques are like that. I think we're officially kind of on for the stream. This is good. I'm gonna do a little bit of the Deer Man look. I don't like that positioning. Go like this. to come with these hands off the top of my noggin. And it is hard sometimes. If you're an artist and you struggle with drawing hands, don't even sweat it. You're right there with the rest of people. And if you figured it out, then that's rad, dude. Keep doing it. Keep practicing. I don't think you can practice hands enough. Music feels a little intense. I chose it though. I don't want to go too animal with the face. I do know we need to put horns on there. I'm trying to decide if I should actually redirect. Some of the ideas I had. I can't look at any of my reference because apparently it like slows down the frame rate on the stream to make it unwatchable, so I need to. I really want to bring up something though. I have an idea. Let me try something. Safari, I summon you from the depths. Come to me and be a light load internet browser. Nope, losing frames straight off the bat as soon as I opened it. My internet browser's doing this to me. Hold on a bit. I don't know. Straight up, like, turned off the internet browser and watched my frame rates jump right back up. I just lost like 6 frames. And more than that. I mean, what's with this? I had another idea. I'm going to take my preview screen from my camera and turn that off. How many things do I need to close? It's still slow. Holy smokes. Oh well. Gotta force quit the applications. I've closed everything. I'm only running music, like a notepad app. And that does it. Like anytime the internet browser opens up, it just kills it. Alright, well. to zoom in, which requires me to open the camera app, so hopefully that stays. Yep, it's pretty good. Our direction is this way. I don't know if my concept is gonna hold up. I don't think this particular pose helps my concept hold up, so we'll... Not for this pose. Alright, so... grab my eraser, which has certainly fallen to the bottom of my haystack. Oh yes, it has. I can't find it as well. Oh, there it is. Alright. Oh. Let's try that face again. Should have thumbnailed this out a bit more. I don't like that either. I really liked the other face. Well, it's gone now. Best eraser of all time. Hopefully this paper can handle a lot of erasings because I'm working my way through ideas. Alright, I think I figured it out. I think I figured out how I'm gonna do the face. Let the coffee flow. Get this going. I got some hands going on there. I'm gonna find better reference for hands because I have very specific ideas for what each gesture is gonna be, and I can't quite get the thing I want with each one right now. Also, I should have drawn this guy probably up on the page up here, but we are where we are. So kind of changing. This is supposed to be like a buckle. So say buckle, and attaches to this guy, and then high up on his back is a sort of sideways bag, like a tube. That's up on his back. As opposed to the basket. Doing this, you have kind of like an Oni mask thing going on here. Which I think is pretty appropriate. Because I'm doing a cyberpunk Krampus. We'll see how it goes. Feels like a bit of a hard start right now. Hard sell, but let's see if I can. For anybody who plays the cyberpunk games, maybe a little bit playing on Cyber Psycho end of this. I have a favorite gang in that game, and the Maelstrom are like all I care about, so I just want to do missions for them, but you can't because they're supposed to be bad guys, and I'm like, no, they're rad. I like them. They listen to techno metal, and like it's amazing. What a cool concept. Alright, so this guy's got like a cybernetic eye here. I wanted the other eye to not be cybernetic, but I'm thinking it could very well be. But yeah, it took me a while to get here, unfortunately, with the face. The face looks good. I'm happy with it. Except for the other eye. I don't know what's going on over there. Gotta fix that. I'll clean up parts of this. I'll do an inking, we'll do a big erase over it, and get rid of all this garbage. Or I'll just, you know what, I might just transfer it to my PC and start inking up there. Sometimes that's a little bit easier. You know, a bunch of kind of cybernetic limbs coming out of his chest. So we're gonna have like 8 arms like a spider, because that's kind of I think we as humans, there are certain things that are kind of like naturally disturbing for us, and to tap into that you kind of have to stay true to the forms of the things that are disturbing. So if you want to do multiple arms is disturbing, you do 8 arms, because spiders have 8 arms. If you go extremely disturbing and incomprehensibly upsetting, you want to do a centipede. So I'm going to do 8 arms, we'll do 4 on each side, because doing a centipede type thing is too many arms. I don't have time for that shit. And also, this artwork being sort of semi-Christmas themed is not going to be something that I think I want to drag into next year. I just want to have it done like this year. So, I'm just gonna have a staff. It's gonna draw a hand all the way over here. I think that's kind of been nixed. I think it's gonna be more here. So I'm gonna kind of position hands, figure out gestures. I like this hand here, but I think it's in like the wrong spot. It's coming from the middle, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I can always redraw a hand. We have a hand holding a staff here. This one looks super janky. So let me redo this. I'm trying to think of what that looks like. Form the hand up. Yep, knuckle. It doesn't look like a hand right now, but after I'm done with it, it will. I'm gonna have this be like a hooked staff. It's gonna look like a shepherd's crook. Fix that up. I think it should be a bit longer. We'll techno it up. That's the shape I want. You can't really quite see it all. Zoom out. Push my arm up and over. Sorry about all the shaking. I tried affixing a rubber band to this because I thought it might adding some tension to the camera might stop it from shaking, but it's not quite doing it. Also, I realized one of my older streams, like a stream from like 2 nights ago, got just completely hit with the mute button by Twitch. So I don't know what happened there, but I hate it. I looked and I was like, okay, so apparently my background playlist started playing songs that were like not in the original playlist I selected, which was supposed to be fine. This is kind of how things go, I guess. Okay, these straps are looking pretty rough, but I'm gonna get the idea out. Let me just look at the backpack that I got nearby. Idea for those straps. Come on. Alright, I know exactly what they need to look like. Exaggerate out that look. I redrew this strap device here because I felt like it needed to fit more on the contour of the body. Before it kind of just looked like it was existing on like the wrong sort of axes, and the base drawing is really important, and if that's wrong and it bothers me, then I'll kind of fall off that image. I find it hard to bring myself to finish something where I see something kind of glaring, like something at just the wrong angle and it feels wrong. Some stuff happening here. I want to do regular nylon straps, but I also want to incorporate something that kind of feels like, you know, ski boots. Whenever you look at a ski boot straps, the way that they like tighten and kind of ratchet shut. I want to do something like that. So I'll probably reference some of that in my final. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this onto a Photoshop file. Take out a screen, take a photo of this, load it into a Photoshop file, and kind of play with it a little bit to give it the what was I thinking? I'm going to bring in all my reference into the Photoshop file, so then I can draw, and like you, dear viewer, can watch the process kind of unfold. I think the idea of these big long roads, but at the same time, I'm gonna push the like cyber theme of this. I feel like I need to find something other than roads. A poncho feels good. I'm gonna do something of a hood on him. That'll cover up some of the sort of cyberware stuff. I'm gonna figure out this eyeball area. Let's do big, kind of erase over it. Eyes would go in here. So what would this eye look like? Do like a view screen eye like that. And angle it slightly so it's kind of massive. There we go. And I'm going to do the multitude of images. So another one here, kind of near that one. This whole area is kind of a mess, so if you can't see the detail there, that's my fault. Now, having these straps wrap around him while also wearing the poncho doesn't really make sense, so maybe the poncho is part of that device. So I'm going to have the straps go into the poncho, and that kind of gets rid of the need for me to draw them wrapping around the body, which I love. So it helps me get rid of details I have to draw. And it adds an interesting element. These things go into pockets. And now I have a space for the arms to kind of reach out and around. Thinking maybe this side and arm is a bit higher raised. Let's figure out how this cloth holds here. Thinking it turns around like that. Have an arm maybe reaching up. I like the idea of these lens being a bit distended. And of course I'm going to add in like cybernetic elements too, so let's see how that goes. I don't know what this hand's gonna do, but it's gonna go here. I think it's gonna fold this way. This is the back of the hand, this is the front of the hand. I don't know what it's doing, maybe holding something up. Have another hand here that's gonna come out wide. I gotta figure out what this one's gonna look like. Not quite sure. Whoop. I have another hand. I think this hand is going to be kind of like grasping inward and maybe interacting with a hand here. Maybe clasping something. Just kind of causing some mystery and interest there. I'll probably pose myself and reference some of these arms, you know, just planning out what they're going to be doing. So whenever I do my own poses, it's not, you know, it's not a mystery what I'm doing. We should at least have like a hand that kind of, I think all the hands should be doing something. I think this hand here. I don't know. Plan it out. I'll do a bunch of hand poses and see what comes out good. This hand here. The last one. I don't know. You just have 3 here and we just have 3 here. I have one hanging down. I think I want to keep this one. I think I want to keep one hanging down. I want to keep one over here and on the side. So I have 4 sort of. I'll play with what these gestures are going to be later as I move on. Krampus also has a goat-like appearance, so I'm gonna do, he's gonna have basically legs that sort of dog hook, like that shape. So we have thigh, knee, but it's gonna be cybernetic, so it's probably gonna be more like his foot is here, and there's an extension that comes down here, which means he's gonna be super tall, which is why this doesn't quite work, because he's too short, and I can't make him taller here. Based on my fold studies that I've been doing lately, I kind of know how to draw this. So it's going to be bunched up this way, and this one's going to be kind of out, and the folds are going to go down. Gosh, this is a mess. I want to change this hook up. This hook has got to be something more interesting. Stay still, camera. Frickin' suck. Torso, I'm gonna draw something for the hips here. I think the hip should be this. I'm gonna look up these legs specifically and play with that. I think this is ready to be transferred over to a computer where I can then look at reference and kind of draw out how legs are gonna look and how the different hands are gonna look. This is a pretty solid concept. Where I wanted to focus was up here, and I think I got that accomplished. I'm gonna do some kind of extra stuff here. We're gonna take a bunch of photos of me doing hand things, and that is gonna be my plan for this cyber krampus. So I'm looking forward to that. What is next? Oh, he's gotta be wearing joggers. I feel like that's what everybody in cyberpunk setting is wearing. He's gonna wear some sort of jogger pant. So I'll just kind of sketch out what that might look like. So his hips are going to kind of go down way lower. Alright. And I'll make him look like he's kind of skipping, I think. So I kind of... This is a pretty weak interpretation, so I'm just going to do a small sketch of what that pose might look like. I'm going to bring up a reference for this. We'll see if we can stream still. You can already see the frame rates dropping. I don't know why that is. It's extremely obnoxious. Internet connections are normal. I'm just gonna Google skipping. The funnest Google search. Yeah. What if I clear my cache? Go into my settings, I'll clear the cache out, and maybe that'll fix it. Yeah, 32 megabytes? Yeah, that might do it. Ooh, there's more. Why is it doing this? It's taking forever. I just want to clear out the cached images, because that alone takes up like hundreds of megabytes. So I don't know if that's part of it, but man, I'm just trying to search for something. This is wild. Okay. Shouldn't be slowing me down this much. Yeah, frame rate's dropping again. Shoot! I typed in skipping and I got people on jump ropes. I didn't say jumping ropes, I said skipping. He stinks so bad. Happy. think the thing I got wrong for this skipping is this leg needs to be up way higher. I don't think I'll do the segmented legs. I think I'm just gonna have them skip it. It's kind of upsetting to think about. Skipping cyberpunk krampus. I'll work with that as time goes on and get the reference pulled off of Google so it's not actually something that I think I'm fine. This doesn't like when I open new windows. It instantly starts dropping frames as soon as I open a new window. Alright. Well, maybe that'll fix things. This needs to come out further. If he's going to be this big, his arms are going to be like that. Hands popping out. It's going to be sticking out of here. It's got to show something. I think I'm going to have one of the arms, I figured this out now. One of these arms is going to be clutching. I'm not sure how to depict that. I've never, that's like a challenge. What's a challenging one? Alright, well, I'm gonna look for some reference. I'll come back to this idea probably tomorrow, because I like it. And I'm gonna be starting a little bit earlier tomorrow, because I want to get it done. I'm gonna have my references gonna be up in Photoshop, and I'll be drawing it. Is there anything else I can do today? It's 10 o'clock. It's kind of early. The stream will be ending. I want to touch on my other project over here. I want to take a concept I had, which is pretty weak, but it's like this. This is like me writing. I understand what this is. I don't think anybody else would. Visual writing, and I kind of want to do more graphically concept that out. So I'm gonna do this. So this was, you can see there's like a gateway down there with kind of like a pass, like a valley pass between two mountains. And then there's this whole area back here that's supposed to be, these triangles are a forest. Up here is a cave. This sort of goes up. There is like kind of shapes up here. This is meant to be like parts of the city. And then up on top there is a fortress. Of course, it doesn't look like that now, but as I develop out stuff, it'll start looking more like it's supposed to. Yep. All right. So I want to draw this in segments. We'll go 1, 2, 3. That's not good enough. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about right, because 4 should be about a third of the way up the page. 5, 6. 6 should be about halfway, so this is already kind of failing my test. But maybe I will change it. 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I think the challenge is to figure out how to get this into 12 segments while not. I think this kind of stacking makes the segments too thin, so I need to come up with some way to lay out this into 12 segments that are have like a flow that moves up out of the bottom. So I think we're gonna go and just take I'm gonna take a red crayon. I'm gonna plan out like this. This is integral for a big project I'm doing. It's gonna take up a good portion of next year. So I'm gonna go 1 and coming up with the flow. The sort of like graphic flow, how the eye moves, how the piece moves, how the layout moves throughout is going to be really important to getting that figured out. Alright, so we have a start point. The idea is kind of challenging because it's hard to do layouts that don't go from the top to the bottom, and do one that goes from the bottom to the top. I might have to reference a few study books I have on layouts, but I want to do from the bottom to the top. I think that it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. And even this is kind of failing at the test, in my opinion, but you know what the problem is this first piece isn't really even included. So this is going to be 1 here. We're going to have an intro, kind of like that, like if you look at text and you have that really big first letter, you know to start right at that. So something about this is going to be big and bold. Maybe it's just really black. Maybe it has like literally a number 1 on it, which is kind of another way to graphically tell people something is first. And it's not a bad thing. You could have arrows. So we can do like an arrow. And it doesn't have to be a literal arrow. It can just be like a triangle shape that points upward. So we're going to work with that. I'm going to go 1, and then maybe and 2, because we go right to left on pages. So 3, 2. This is really 1. I'm going to say this is P. I don't know why I'm calling it P. 3. 3, and I'm going to go 4. We could do a 4 over here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. now, right about the mid zone, we are getting 6. So I think I'm going to do 6 is like literally a block in the center. That kind of dips down like this. This, by the way, is like a point crawl layout. If you're not familiar with what point crawl is, just Google it. I mean, but a sort of basic introduction to point crawl is whenever you are. By the way, I noticed the frame rates jumped up as soon as I deleted my like Google search image cache. So point crawl, getting back to on track, is a form of map making for, say, like game boards or perhaps a tabletop RPG game where you're kind of laying out the path of the story, and it's generally over a large area. Each point is usually graphically represented by what it is about, so we're going to do that. And it would give kind of like the basic information for that area. So my idea of this being a point crawl, each of these points would be expanded on either supplementally or like internally. I might draw in kind of like a crazy sort of tangle of rooms or of interest points within the point crawl, sort of like a mini, or maybe it pulls out. I'm not sure yet. So we go 6. Let's move on. 6. 7 is. And we do this. We allow these spaces here, which are good. So 7. I could do 7, 8, 9 across like this. 10, 11, and then do like a 12 up here, either in the center or slightly off center. I wish I had a mute button for my mic that I could like hit quickly. I'm sure I could set up like a keyboard shortcut for that. But this looks like a mess right now, but I'm gonna go and take a big black marker. This one's silver. If I use a Sharpie, what am I ruining on the other side? It's that stuff. Maybe don't do that. This will ruin the other side too. I think this might be the best option, because this one does not bleed through, even though it's nice and black. It's a nice big thick line. Alright. So, start off, I want to have a gateway, a triangle element. We'll then have forest. I'm going to give these things names too. That'll help me to set the themes. Over here, we're going to have a marshland, sort of a cool, creepy, don't follow the lights marshland. under dead trees. There's a reason why I'm picking these specific themes. These are things I kind of planned out. With a specific idea in mind that I think I'll expand on when I'm actually doing the project. So you can learn more about why I thought that would be a good choice. So we're going to have like a pine forest here. Pine forest has like, I'm going to put like torn banners in it. A lot of bones and stuff. Put some bones in there. Just to kind of theme out these areas. Just sort of like soldiers' graves, like little quick like mass graves will be in here. Trying to be like kind of spooky. I don't know if anybody picked up on that, but I kind of like that stuff. So probably have another gateway. It leads to another area, so we kind of have defined borders between each area. This will have swamps, which, let me see, some of the themes of this swamp are going to be, I think we're gonna have, I like more bones. That seems to work for me, but maybe we have giant bones, and maybe there are tremendous weapons in here, lost in the swamps. Big axe blade. And this is all part of my story I'm telling. And these could be like kind of unique, creepy elements. So we have a forest of bones and graves. We have a swamp with giants weapons and probably giant skeletons and bones. I'll throw those in there. When I think that's something, which is an overarching story. And in my layout, we're going over here next. I think over here, I want there to be a fortress. Let me draw This is our next gateway, so we have a gateway that leads to another area. I think this is going to be a sunken fortress, so it's going to be a little off-kilter. Might get sank into the swamp a bit. And it's going to be ruined. Put some basic looking damage on there, cracks and stuff. Okay, so you have a sunken fortress. This is gonna play on a lot of old school Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Where to go after the sunken fortress? I think we're gonna start at the like a mountain path. So we'll bring a path that leads clearly from the fortress over to here. So we're leading up away, and maybe this is a craggy, rocky area. There's a reason why I want these areas to have these sort of, this is outdoors, this is outdoors, this is half outdoors. This is getting into something more dry or arid looking, but moving up, away. And there's going to be like maybe little villages on this road. But this is going to 4. I'm trying to figure out what this is going to culminate in. This is basically a survivor trek kind of area. Almost like, what's the area called? Can't think of it. I think this is going to lead up to the mouth of a cave. Really ominous looking mouth. Okay. Boom, boom. Well, that happened. So now we're going underground. And this is going to lead to a cave area. So we're going to do caves. I'm just going to show that like this. Put some crystals in there. Everybody likes a good crystal cavern. This reminds me, it makes me, now I want to listen to Crystal Castles. I'm gonna put labels on. This one's kind of sloppy, I can't even tell what this is. I think this is going to be an exit, so we're going to say this is an exit to the cave. How to show that leading out is going to be a challenge. I think it's going to be kind of like a dashed line, and then you have an exit. Exit the cave, and now we're gonna have I think we're gonna have like a city, like a metropolis. However that looks on a mountain. I'm gonna draw a few house kind of structures. I'm not gonna be too particular about architecture right now. And a lot of this is going to be ruins, like that's going to be a big part of this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I said this was going to be 7. One second, I'm just figuring this out in my head. 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. This area is going to be of special significance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hmm. 8. Is this 9? So this is going to be 9. 10. 7, 8, 9. Those are going to be the tough ones for me to theme out. 10 is going to be, I think we're going to go back into being grim here, so this one specifically needs to be grim. So I think this is going to be the churchyard. Really, yeah. Let's do a church. I've only been in Catholic churches recently, so a lot of those are these like big gable, not gabled roofs, almost like just short of being A-frames. They've got like little sides on them. I don't know what you would call that. They're huge, high-pitched roofs. That's kind of like, I guess I'm in New England, so like a church looks like this. They all look like this. like those are all over the place, but you see them as town halls and stuff now. They were like old meeting houses. I think there's going to be a graveyard outside this place. Actually, you know what? This can be... Shoot. Well, now I want this to be 9 and for 10 to be a necropolis. Okay, so I'll just change this to... Just gonna put a note here. This is a necropolis. Oh no! A brush pen. It's dying. Give it some ink. Great. Oh man. I'll let that flow into the tip for a little bit. Give that a break. Sit up. A little chair here. Another chair. Another chair, put that in the corner. Sit in the corner, bud. That actually works. Let's change this. Fix this out. This is gonna be church. No. Gosh darn it. Necropolis. Church. I'm gonna start labeling these. Haunted forest. Swamp. Sunken fortress. This will be our Aussie Crags. Over here will be our Crystal Cave. Over here will be our City on High, we'll call it. Kind of like a ruins. Ruins of the City on High. Great. Going over here now. I think I'm gonna end my stream on kind of getting this thing fleshed out. So if this is kind of tiring, then I mean whatever. This is how I want to do it. This is a big project for me, and I want to get it properly planned. So this is part of those stages. As I draw every day, this is kind of a good way to set aside that time for me to do that. City on High. Let's make these the Molten Mines. Like mine carts. I don't know how to draw lava right now. It's fire. It's very bad. I don't have to be an artist. These are representative. So we have molten mines. So we now have a mine cart path. It's going to lead there. Think Temple of Doom. Why not? Eight is this area here. 6, 7, 8. I'm just lost on that one. 9 is going to be a hill. So this is a church, but what is a specific adjective I want to use for it? Or the verbs I want to use for it? Church. Gosh, I'll figure this out. I like ruins. So we do a ruined church. Maybe. We're in church ruins. There has to be something more than that. It's not haunted. I don't want to do haunted. I was trying to think of the path which leads up. I think that's going to be misty. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do like something with mist and fog. So it's gonna be the Lost Church. Lost Church ruins, molten mines. Lost Church ruins, molten mines. I don't know what would be between mines and this. I'm thinking something to do with a maybe we would do like hot springs. Yeah, I like that. Hot springs. Yeah, hot springs, we're gonna do something else with it though, because it can't just be hot springs. These are molten. These are the ruins of the city on high, so it's kind of an idyllic but like destroyed. Mossy crags, they are crags, but they're covered in like green and growing things. Crystal caves, a cave with crystals, you know, we'll get somewhere. Sunken fortress is sunken fortress. The swamp doesn't have a descriptor, so I gotta figure that out. It can't just be swamp. I'm gonna call it Giant's Bane. That's good. That's okay. Fortress, Monster Crags, Around the city on high. The molten mines. Hot springs. Infested. Gotta do different biomes and different creature types. Kind of having fun with it. Lost Church ruins. Necropolis is a pretty cool one on its own. I mean, haunted is kind of taken by the forest in the beginning. And a necropolis is so often haunted that that's not really an interesting idea. So I should retag this one campaign planning now. Because that's what I'm doing. Necropolis, since instead that's going to be the necropolis. I'm gonna call it the Shimmering Necropolis. For reasons. The Shimmering Necropolis. And then over here. Necropolis. It'll look different from this. This is a bad representation because I was thinking something else when I drew it. Lost church ruins. Do a church on a hill. But Shimmering Necropolis. This one here is tough. What is this area? This is going to, up here, be a... This is going to be a fort. I know that. So we got a sunken fort and we got a fort. I'm going to call it the King's Fort. I'm not going to be super specific with this because that's spoilies. Ugh, okay. As we're getting to the top of the mountain, there's going to be peaks. I did a craggy area, so I don't want to do craggy peaks. Instead, let's do these peaks will be maybe these peaks will be, they have to be connected somehow. They have to like be climbable. I don't want to say crumbling. I like this idea. The peaks can be higher. They bring you up to this area over here. This is such a bad drawing right now. It's okay. It's next to this happy-looking guy, so it helps it. What are the peaks? What are the peaks? Let's call them the Screaming Peaks. Scream. Scream. I have to find out now. Screaming, is it an A or an E? Type. I think, okay, so we have an annual Halloween event nearby called Scream Fest, And at Screamfest, it's spelled Scream, because apparently someone in Salem, New Hampshire, which is not far away from me, is illiterate, and also has a position of power. So that kind of tracks with I'm gonna look this up. Is it really? Because I'm remembering it as being SCRE. Oh, they changed it. It was... Oh, Screamfest is something different. Okay. It is. But they spell it with 3 E's. Because they're supposed to be like Screamfest. Which doesn't work. Alright, so it is with 2 E's. We figured it out. Somebody made a website called Screamfest, though. Which is probably why I thought that. Ugh. I'm sure there's like legal reasons why that is. Classic Fortress. Gotta love it. Height in the back. Low in the front. Parapet, like little watchtowers around it. Super sloppy. Alright. This is a way better graphic representation of this. I might do both versions just to have something that's really sort of set in a canon and something that is a point crawl map. This was pretty boring right here, so I'll have to work on that. These are all mixed up, so I'll work on those. This is my layout. And how I interpret each of those is going to be pretty important. Trying to decide it, but I do believe this is going to be a massive, massive project. But I'm going to plan it out in more detail, and we will have updates as I go. I think it'll have to be almost fully done digitally. I might draw out the area plots on paper, bring them in digitally, and then work on them inside there. But it's gonna have, I need to form like a grid and probably a way to keep things consistent with scale. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I will be here tomorrow. I have the day off work. Woo! So, yeah. Look forward to streaming tomorrow, and I hope that you come and draw with me and talk as well. What am I? I'm gonna do a little project roundup here at the end. What am I working on? It's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, everybody. I said it in the beginning. I'm gonna say it at the end. Not surprised. There's kind of low attendance on this one, but send me messages, say something. I got the Instagram, I got Twitter. Those things announce this. I am here it is. My goal here coming up is going to be to set down an actual schedule that I can keep up with. I'm gonna say 80% of the time is my initial goal here, to get a schedule that works and I can hit those days 80% of the time. And if not 80%, I want to be able to hit it greater. I don't want to go below that, and once I hit 80% and I know I can consistently keep a certain schedule of a sort, I'm gonna bump it up to 90. I do live a sort of life and have a sort of schedule, and I work a sort of job where occasionally I am called in to work extra hours, or I am, just my Friday or weekend schedule just completely changes, and then I need to adjust. And those are just gonna be days where either I stream at the weirdest possible time, maybe like at 6 a.m. or some BS like that, or I end up streaming at like the 11th hour of the day. So that's kind of that goal. That's one of the goals for I'd say 2023. Getting this more fleshed out. I think I'm gonna kind of hide some of the progress I make on this because I'm excited for it. I don't want to spoil all of it, and it's gonna take. I can't be doing the same thing every day. I can't be drawing dungeon maps every day. I have to do goofy stuff like this. Prancing cyber krampus. I have to be doing characters like this. Planning out entire other things. Working on these bigger side projects because they're way more interesting to me than just the same old stuff over and over again. Anyways, like I said, that's it for tonight. Merry Christmas, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.